My goodness, I need a haircut. Hello people, been a while, been a whole fortnight. Feel like a kid who hasn't done their homework again, not for the first time, so I apologise. Basically, I didn't make a video last week because my usual kind of filming schedule is I film it on a Friday and I try and edit it and upload it over the weekend so that it's ready to go on a Tuesday, so I don't have the mad panic of wondering whether it will upload in time, blah blah blah. But last week, life just got in the way, as it sometimes does. But I just felt really bad and really guilty for not doing a video every time I scheduled in to do it. Something else that I couldn't avoid got in the way. I know it just sounds like excuses, but I was working on other things. I was on a podcast called The Pint and Parchment, which is a podcast that one of my very close friends, Tom, just started up with one of his friends, and I was a guest on there. Very funny. It was very fun to do. I'll put the link in the description below. Aside from that, I've still been writing the Cynically Sound posts, so if you haven't watched them with your eyes reading, if you haven't read them, then again, I'll put a link in the description below. I'm just plugging all of the things that I've been doing to kind of prove to you that I haven't just been sitting doing nothing. I feel like I sort of owe it to you guys that I made a promise every week I would put a video up, and when I don't do that, I felt guilty and like I need to explain myself. Especially when you have like an illness or an invisible illness, or you know, you're recovering from something and people can't really, there's not an obvious thing wrong with you. A lot of the times when you are feeling really shit, I get these like pain attacks in my stomach, and partly self-induced when I'm not on top of what I'm eating, but also it's just out of my control sometimes if it happens or not. So I often do this thing where I set myself very rigid goals every day, and if I don't do them, I end up feeling really guilty and really bad and like I haven't done anything with the day. But then when I actually think back and look back at what I've done, I've actually done a fair bit, but just because I haven't done the 7 or 8 things that I set myself out to do, I've only done 3. I think, oh my god, I failed for the day, it's a write-off, I need to try harder tomorrow, and then just setting these constant unrealistic goals and feeling bad. It's just about being a bit kinder to yourself, and I'm just trying to not punish myself for not doing something which is a hobby. Like, I enjoy doing these videos and I want them to go out and help people, but things that are out of my control stopped me from doing them, and I shouldn't feel guilty because of that. And it's the same with if anything's happening to you. You shouldn't feel bad if you've had a really intense week and then you can't face going out at the weekend and you have to say no to your mate. One of my other very close friends invited me to this business school over the weekend, and Muggins here had fish and chips the night before. Knew I shouldn't have done, always sets me off, and I ended up having this really crippling pain attack in the morning and kind of had to struggle through that all through Friday, all through Saturday, and ended up leaving a bit early, and I had to just go home and sleep. I'm not gonna feel bad or, you know, keep punishing myself about it. I was annoyed at myself and I'll learn from it and not do it again, but it's done and I can't change it. There's no point dwelling over it. So yeah, sorry Stuart, that was one of the reasons why I had that stomach ache. Like another example of not punishing yourself for doing things and having to work within your parameters. Like, I can't go to the gym. Doing that kind of exertion on my stomach muscles, there's a risk that I'd get a hernia, which I don't want, and sounds really grim if you have one, so I apologise if you do have one. Awful. So it means I'm now having to look at alternative ways to work out and be fit and healthy. So I've now vowed, I'm married to cycling. I've vowed to go out on my bike at least once a week, and also I'm now going to go ice skating once a week, because I used to do that when I was younger. Just stopped doing it for no reason. I'm probably not going to be as good as the 13-year-olds there who go every week and can skate backwards and do those little like spinny things, but I really enjoy it, and it will help build my core up slowly and surely rather than doing it through weights. You know, I'm gonna have to get very familiar with cardio, which is fine, but it means I can't go to the gym with my family. I think my overriding feeling and why I wanted to make this as a kind of, not even a return, I've been gone a week, as a kind of pretense to, you gotta work within your parameters. And last week my parameters just got slightly squeezed, which meant unfortunately a video didn't go up. Work within your parameters. Don't feel bad if you've got to take a day off. You know, it's like people with mental health issues. If you just need a day to yourself, you know, unfortunately we live in a world where you've got to pretend you've got food poisoning or something. But if that's what you need to do to get yourself realigned and recentered, do that. Don't feel guilty. You've got to look after yourself first and foremost. But I'm feeling good, feeling back on form. I'm gonna do exercise today. I'm gonna edit this, upload it, and then I'm gonna go ice skating for the first time in about 3 years. So that'll be nice and fun as I slip over and get literal rings spun around me by children. That's fine, because it's great fun. So anyway, I will see you next week, I promise. And even if I don't, then it's because my parameters have closed. But no, I will. New video next Tuesday. Hope you're all well. Go check out the podcast if you're on the train, you just need something to pass the time. It's very funny, combining history and drinking, basically. It was very kind of them to let me on, considering I don't drink anymore. And this one, they themed around Rare Disease Day and kind of with all my stuff. So we looked at old medical treatments, which is obviously very funny, and lots of very obscure, slightly grim, very entertaining. So go check that out. Go check out Cynically Sound, and I will see you next week.